Hey guys, it's Blockchain Brad, and today we are very lucky to have Jun Lee in the house, the founder of Ontology, very well experienced also with on-chain. Thank you, Jun Lee, for your time. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah. Hi, Brad. Nice to talk to you again.
Always great. Mate, today we wanted to just quickly go over a few things to allay some of the community's concerns. And the first thing we wanted to do is address some of the differences, perhaps, of on-chain and Neo, and then we'll go across to on-chain and Ontology, and then down to the differences of Ontology and Neo specifically. So, Jun Lee, you're an expert, or arguably the world's leading expert in understanding all of these different components of the whole network. Can you tell us about what the difference is between on-chain and Neo?
Okay, Neo is a public blockchain. Actually, it's a public community blockchain. It's not belong to any specific company. And on-chain is a private technical company, is private technical service, blockchain technical service for enterprise and governments. Actually, Neo and on-chain have a totally different teams, the running different technology and also running different solutions. The on-chain is more focused on the permissioned or private enterprise level blockchain solutions. That is a difference between Neo and on-chain. Of course, Da Hongfei is founder of Neo and the CEO and on-chain, but the team from on-chain and Neo is totally two teams actually, no overlap.
Right.
So that is the relationship between. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jun Lee. So I'll just recap that. They're totally different teams, and one is permissioned, one is permissionless. Bless you.
Yeah.
So because of that, we know that they are distinct. But what is very important, you made the point that Hongfei Da is also the CEO of both, and for that reason, we need to ask you one thing. And that is that in the plan in the future, are you intending on trying to utilize these two through a protocol like NeoX, where you can essentially allow one to support the other? Because obviously one is a public blockchain, one is a private blockchain, but is there a way for Neo to be enhanced and supported by on-chain in the future?
On-chain team already provided some technical service for Neo. For example, Neo, they launched the ICO project. They need some technical service. On-chain will support for that point. And in the future, of course, the on-chain and Neo can, when the Neo needed to cooperation, do the cooperation with private or permission chains, and on-chain definitely can be the partner to support this point. That's why the on-chain launched the Ontology, also kind of those kind of cooperation between Neo and on-chain or Ontology. That is, it is possible cooperation in the next phase.
I see. So that's a perfect segue, actually. You've made it really clear that there are plans for support. That was the key word I got from what you said. So let's move across now to on-chain and Ontology. You are arguably the world's expert on Ontology. You know more than anybody about it. You designed the architecture. So, Jun Lee, can you tell us exactly what the differences are between on-chain and Ontology? How do they work together?
Okay. On-chain is Ontology initially launched by on-chain team and supported by on-chain team. But finally, the Ontology will be a public community project like Neo, and the Ontology's token will also be distributed to the public or the other investor. So the Ontology finally will not only belong to the on-chain. On-chain also will play a technical service as a technical service provider to support the Ontology in the technical level. And but in initial phase, the most Ontology team is from the on-chain. So you can see the on-chain launched the Ontology, the public service. Yeah.
I see. So just in a nutshell, essentially you have on-chain as a private service, and you have Ontology as the very much the planned public blockchain, the public for the community. But what's clear is that right now, as you said, if you could look at it in one sense, right now Ontology is functioning as the public child of the parent on-chain, which being a private establishment and design. So eventually Ontology will stand alone. as a public blockchain for the community. Would that be fair to say? Eventually, it will be strong and can exist in its own right.
Yeah, Ontology is just about 1 month ago, right? So yeah, very short history, and but for technical level, he is not a baby because on-chain already have many enterprise level private permission blockchain solution experience. So the infrastructure level already have lots of technical the experience based on that. So that means Ontology will be the public or infrastructure will be the development already be doing 1 year and 2 years ago.
I see.
So yes, the people know Ontology in short term, very short term, and but the technical history and technical fundamental the modules already have a long term to develop ago. Yeah, so I think that is Ontology's advantage compared with other projects, because other projects maybe need funding announced and cross funding, and then have the money to build a team to begin the development process. But for Ontology, they already have a lot of the technical the service between.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that Ontology is already well established. It's been in the making for approximately 2 years at least, through you leading a very experienced team. So in no way is it essentially, as I said before, it's not a child, blockchain. It's not something that is immature. It's something that's mature. It's ready, and more importantly, that it's designed for the public. So that's the difference, is that Ontology is the public component. It's a network. It's not a blockchain, and it will be utilized as we see in 2018. We'll come to understand more how that happens. So if we move across to perhaps the most important question of the three, John, how is Ontology different to Neo? And I ask you this because many people are worried that there is some sort of competition between Ontology and Neo. So can you allay those concerns?
Yes, and I think the difference between Ontology and Neo is quite very clear. Actually, I think one thing is that they have the different focal scope. Neo is digital assets and smart economy, and is based on the digital assets. But Ontology maybe will have the trust cooperation, and also to link to the real scenario in the real world, actually. Actually, from my point of view, they have focus on different scope and have a lot of potential collaboration in the future. For example, Neo, if you want to have a cover more scope, especially in the real world, because currently the token in the Neo or is mostly is kind of the totally is the digital assets.
Right.
They have no link to the real world assets. If you want to link to the real world assets, tokenized those kind of assets, you definitely need to link to the legal system and different scenarios. And I think Ontology can be the part of the bridge, help those kind of real world assets be tokenized or digitalized and running on Neo, the platform. That means they can help Neo to cover more the case based on that. So I think the definitely is cooperation or collaboration is more than a competition from my point of view.
And John, you've clarified that it's about excuse me, it's about collaboration. But I want to just take that one little bit further, because as a network, that's what Ontology is. It's essentially a trust network that's going to be utilized on the blockchains. I need to, and obviously it incorporates all kinds of things, not just blockchain, but protocols as well. But John, it's very clear that in the plan that Neo has a special role. So let's be clear. If you could use allow other blockchains to be supported by Ontology, which you do plan to do, that's fine, and you also will support other protocols. But surely there is a special relationship between Neo and Ontology that's different to the other projects that could append onto Ontology. So can you tell us what is it that's special about the relationship that's different between Ontology and Neo that sets it apart from other projects that could come on and use Ontology?
That I think before I mentioned about Neo will be the primary digital assets service provider in Ontology network. That means scenarios, different scenarios or business case, they want to issue their token sometimes. Neo will be, or even for ICO, or Neo will be the primary the platform to running on that part. Yeah. Ontology have the chain network. In some case, if the some business case, they are not only they want to running or build their own the blockchain because there are specific requirements.
Yes.
Ontology can support for that part. That means the Ontology can be a gateway or the kind of the how to say is bridge to link this kind of team or service to issue their token on Neo.
I see.
That is, if we have not kind of technical service for them, but only issue some token, maybe they will not choose Neo. Maybe they can choose Ethereum or even other platform. If you can provide the more technical service, more deeply technical service or customization for them, they will have, they can help us build the technical platform, not only issue the token. So they were willing to choose the ecosystem, Ontology plus Neo. And Neo can have more token issued on Neo running based on Neo smart contract. They also can add value for Neo platform. Yeah.
Okay. So just to recap that as well, John, it's clear that Neo is afforded a bridge via Ontology as a special provision for a digital asset. But are you going to do anything like that with any other? Is there plan to provide that same special provision for other blockchains, or is this especially with Neo only?
We cannot so exclusive right now, but in the current phase, Neo is owning the digital assets provider on Ontology.
I see. So
first phase.
Once again, that makes it more of a very clearly about support, very clearly about collaboration and unique support. We might add. So if we could move across now, Jun, for some of the hot topics of the day with the token distribution. A lot of people are talking about this. They don't understand what's going on with Ontology and what the plan is for the token. So can you talk us through January? Clearly things are going to happen. Let's talk firstly KYC and whitelists. What's the plan?
Yeah. Actually, we have not confirmed the final solution or final approach for the token distribution. So if we have the public token distribution or token or ICO, we definitely need the KYC process because the regulation requirement. Yeah. But it depends on the final decision about the public ICO.
I see.
So that is maybe we will announce in January, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So you've made it clear that one option is to go down the track of the option of public, the public token sale, and obviously it'll involve the KYC. You're not sure if it will become a private one as well. When approximately in January do you think that you'll have an answer and you'll know?
You mean what time we will announce that, right?
Well, roughly, do you have an idea of when in January, roughly? People can expect to see some sort of feedback?
Yes. Currently, we can, in January, we will announce that the final approach and the final solution about that, and people will know. And of course, we will keep the transparency, and I guess all the community people will get the official announcement or official information from us. Yeah.
Okay, and just in terms of community involvement, John, some people are worried that with the final decision you make, that perhaps the community members may not be involved in the ICO process. Is that the truth? Is that the case, or are you going to involve the community in some way?
It depends on the regulation policy for maybe some citizens from a different country. They have needed to follow different regulation or legal system, and but we will find a way that the community involved in. So Which kind of a way I cannot say right now, but
Okay.
we will announce in January. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting that you are going to find some sort of way. So that provides a reassurance for the community. I can tell you because they want to know that they are being thought of, and clearly Ontology is doing that. So thank you for that. If we could move across now to the token itself. Obviously, you've been considering utilizing a dual token structure. Have you made any decisions on that now?
Yes, the dual token, the mechanism we already announced. So the decision made. Actually, in initial phase, we add currently the mechanism almost the same with Neo.
All right.
And the initial phase, we actually add some more different mechanism based on the dual token, like the inflation, add the value, add the total amount supply every year, and this kind of thing. But we finally realized the people don't want like a token with every year to add more supply for that, because they will worry about impact the value of token, and they cannot know where is total cap or total amount about that.
I see.
So we finally choose we will have the fixed amounts for the token. Yeah.
Okay, so just moving across once more now to the maximum supply, those kinds of things that people think about. Jun, is it going to be, to your knowledge, a very large supply, or is it going to be something reasonably scarce?
I guess it's definitely will be a reasonable scarce.
Yes.
Especially compared with Neo, there will be very small the scope, very small cap compared with Neo current market cap.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because obviously one of the things people are concerned about, Jun, is that when they're scarce, often the token sale moves very fast. So would it be fair to say from your experience that this is going to be very popular? This will be a very popular token sale?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, the project actually is quite popular. We have maybe the global community is not very large right now, but in China it's quite famous project and popular project. And just like I said, we will try our best to let the people in community have a chance to be involved in. So we will try to design a more reasonable or good mechanism for the token distribution. Yeah.
Okay, and Jun, also just with regard to trying to keep up with information, when you do decide to post this information, will it be on the social media platforms, and will you be posting a countdown?
We have the newsletter, email newsletter, because people can subscribe our newsletter in our website. Okay. And we will send the information when newsletter. Also will have the formal announcement in social media like Telegram or Twitter or the Reddit. So people don't needn't to get information from a third party. They can only just focus on the official announcement or information. We will do everything be transparent to everyone. We will not have any secret the transaction or the on the table things will not have happened for the community project. Yeah.
Junli, I really appreciate your time. I know how busy you are, and thank you for doing this specially. Because obviously the community really wanted to know these key questions. You've made it very clear, a few things, I'll just go over them. Firstly, you're not quite sure yet whether you're going to do a public ICO, but you have made it very clear that the public will be involved in some way, the community will be involved and have been forgotten. You've explained that the KYC will be possible only if that choice has been made down the track in January sometime, and that you also have made a decision already on the dual token structure. It's like Neo by design with a governance and utility model. And also, very importantly, you've made it clear to access information you need to go through social media and newsletters. And finally, it will be a reasonably scarce coin in comparison to Neo. So on behalf of all the listeners, Junli, thank you so much for your time. You've clarified so much, and we look forward to talking to you and seeing you in the future.
Yeah, thanks for your interview, and very nice to talk to you again. Yeah.